Welcome to Learn to Tat. Tatting is a type of knotted lace, comprised of individual knots called double stitches. The double stitch is the basic element of tatting. The double stitch is tatted continuous to form a chain or drawn into a ring. A pattern may consist of all rings or possibly all chains in an endless variety of combinations. Any pattern may be tatted once the double stitch and techniques are mastered. Practice the patterns provided to master technique and build confidence. Please join me now in class number 1. The following instructions given for shuttle tatting apply to both left-handed and right-handed people.
The distinctive features of this shuttle aid in learning the basics of tatting.
Top, bottom, front, with a sharp tip used for joining and correcting mistakes. Hold the shuttle properly by placing the thumb on the bottom, the index finger on top, lengthwise with the shuttle. Hold approximately 1/3 of the shuttle length.
To wind the shuttle, use colored size 5 crochet cotton.
Begin by pointing the shuttle tip up, with the tip pointed left. Pass the thread through the hole in the shank and hold it at the back. Wind the thread up and over toward the back, around to the front, up and over again. Continue winding back to front. Wind the shuttle to the outside edge, but not beyond the outside edge. When the shuttle is full, clip the thread from the skein. Now look at the shuttle from the top of the shuttle. The thread is wound counterclockwise, with the thread coming from the bottom right of the shuttle. This shuttle is wound correctly for the traditional method of tatting. Other methods may require the shuttle to be wound differently.
Use white size 5 crochet cotton.
Tie the colored shuttle thread and the white size 5 thread together. Leave the white thread attached to the skein and trim the tails. The basic element of tatting is the double stitch. There are several methods of making the double stitch. We will learn the traditional method, using 2 contrasting colors of thread. When learning to make the double stitch with 2 contrasting colors of thread, the thread is held this way. Tails pointing down. Pinch at the knot. Wrap the white thread over the back of the hand like this. Wind the thread around the little finger 2 or 3 times, and bend the little finger to hold the wrapped thread. Adjust the thread if needed until it feels comfortable. Hold the shuttle properly with the thread out the back. If the shuttle thread is not coming from the back, pause, review the instructions, and correct it before continuing. Please watch for a moment while I demonstrate the shuttle movements with an empty shuttle before making stitches with a full shuttle. The double stitch is made in 2 steps, 2 half hitches making 1 complete double stitch. The first half of the double stitch, called the under hitch, is made by passing the shuttle under the left hand thread and then over the left hand thread. Under, over. The second half of the double stitch, called the over hitch, is made by passing the shuttle over the left hand thread and then under the left hand thread. Over, under. Learning the movements of the shuttle is very easy. The more difficult part of tatting the double stitch is with the left hand. The left hand is relaxed somewhat to loosen the tension of the left hand thread. This allows the left hand thread to be picked up by the shuttle thread and transferred onto the shuttle thread. Loosening the left hand tension at the correct time is a crucial step in making the double stitch. I will demonstrate the first half hitch of the double stitch several times, and then the second half hitch. To make the first half of the double stitch, the under hitch, first, position the shuttle thread by bringing the shuttle forward and under the shuttle thread, so the shuttle thread is over the back of the fingers. Second, pass the shuttle under the left hand thread. Let the left hand thread slip between the shuttle and index finger and over the left hand thread. Now, relax the left hand to loosen the tension of the left hand thread. Keep the left hand relaxed and pull the shuttle thread taut. The white thread will fold over, transferring the white thread on top of the colored shuttle thread. Again, position, pass under, over, relax, pull. Again, position, pass under, over, relax, pull. If the colored thread is on top of the white thread, the left hand tension was held too tight, like this. To correct it, loosen the stitch, relax the left hand, and pull. Hold the shuttle thread taut. Then, bring the left hand back into position. Again, position, pass under, over, relax the left hand, pull shuttle out. The last two fingers of the right hand can be used to help transfer the thread and keep the thread taut. Under, over, relax, pull out. Under, over, relax, pull out. The second half of the double stitch, the overhitch, is made by shuttling the thread over the left-hand thread and under the left-hand thread. Relax the left hand. The overhitch also transfers onto the shuttle thread. Keep the left hand tension loose, allowing the stitch transfer. Over, under, relax, pull shuttle out. Over, under, relax, pull shuttle out. Pushing the shuttle against the left-hand thread when making the overhitch provides a base to work on and also helps in picking up speed when making the stitches. Push over, under, relax, pull out. Both half hitches of the double stitch have been demonstrated. Tatting the two half hitches in sequence makes one complete double stitch. First, tat the under hitch, under, over, relax, pull out, and second the over hitch to make one complete double stitch. Push over, under, relax, pull out. Under, over, over, under. A double stitch tatted correctly has a bar across the top of the stitch, called a stitch cap, and two legs at the bottom. Double stitches made correctly slide easily along the thread. If the left-hand thread is held taut rather than loose when making the two half hitches, the bar will be across the bottom of the double stitch and two arms at the top, like this. Stitches made in this manner will not pull into a ring. Tat the double stitch with a cap across the top of the stitch. Cover each double stitch with a flat pinch to prevent twisting. As needed, adjust the thread over the back of the hand for comfort. Before moving to Lesson 2, practice tatting double stitches until you are very confident in transferring the thread each time and making double stitches correctly, with stitch caps across the top of the stitch. The practice thread may possibly measure a foot or two before completely mastering the double stitch. To refill an empty shuttle, review the instructions or refer to the printed reference guide.